If you're learning something with quality, it's going to remain with you. It'll stay with you and you will feel more fluent, more confident while using that particular part of language. Hello everybody! Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're doing awesome. Are you ready for another session of English with me? Well, today we are going to learn another method of remembering the vocab. How not to forget what you learn. Now, this is a common problem that I often hear that, ma'am, we forget what we learn. How to remember it? How to remember the phrases, the idioms, the vocabulary that we are learning. Now, I know this is a huge problem, but do not worry. I have the perfect solution for you. Do you want to know that? It's a secret, but I'm going to tell you, do not worry about it. So, another method of not to forget your vocab, whatever you're learning, or how to remember what you learn. The vocabulary is use it immediately. Use immediately whatever you're learning in English. Now, this might sound a bit confusing, like what am I trying to say exactly? But the thing is that I'm going to explain it to you in details. This is going to be something very important. This is that one factor that can make your remembering all the words and even using them when you speak a very smooth process. This can change your vocabulary game, believe me. Okay, are you ready to learn this? Well, I'm Shivangi Gupta, your English language tutor certified by University of Cambridge, the UK. And you're watching Speak English with Shivangi. Before beginning, I'd like to request you to please subscribe this channel if you haven't, because you get one English lesson every day. Also, like the video and please share it with your friends. Share as much as possible. Now, talking about using everything that you learn immediately. That's very important if you want to remember whatever you're learning. What happens is when you don't repeat or use it immediately, your brain thinks it's not important. That's a huge red flag. So if you're not using it, you're letting it go. It's going to waste. Let's understand this with a context. Okay, what can you learn in English? The things are vocabulary. When you're learning vocabulary, you might learn a word, phrase, idiom. If you're learning grammar, you might learn parts of speech, or maybe what I say, sentence structure, or maybe some sentences. Now the thing is that whatever you are learning in English, whether it's your vocab, whether it's your grammar, or even pronunciation, use it immediately. Otherwise, it's like use it or lose it. I sometimes say this. You must have heard me saying this particular phrase, use it or lose it. This is a phrase in English that I use often. And today I'm going to tell you this particular thing in this video. Otherwise, what will happen is you're going to lose it. You might think that it's there with you. You have learned it. You might be happy about it. But the thing is that if your brain is not using it, it might think that this is useless and you'll forget about it. So this is the thing. Now let's take an example. Okay, there is this particular word. For example, let's take the word solitude. Now the meaning of this word is a state of isolation. That is when you're alone, but you enjoy that alone time because you find it peaceful. So it's like alone time which is peaceful in nature. It gives you calmness. It's positive. This is a positive word. So the thing is that you have learned the word, the meaning. You might even have seen the example sentences which are given in the dictionary on the website like Cambridge Dictionary, Oxford Dictionary websites. You might have even gone through all the example sentences, but that's not it. If you're not using it, you will not be able to remember it. And if you're not using it, your fluency will not increase. Why? Because when you want to speak things, it must come naturally. And if the words are not coming naturally to you, that means there is no fluency. So the thing is that if you're using the word immediately, You are making yourself habitual of using the word when you're speaking English. Hence, what you have to do is, whenever you learn a new word, step number 1 is to speak it out loud 5 times. Speak the word out loud 5 times. Now, when you're speaking the word 5 times, you're making yourself habitual of speaking the particular word. I highly suggest you look at the pronunciation too. Whenever you learn a new word, the pronunciation is given on the website. So if you're checking out Cambridge website, Cambridge Online Dictionary, you'll get the pronunciation just below the word. So check the pronunciation and speak the word out loud 5 times. Now the next thing that you need to do is speak out loud all the example sentences that are given. Speak each sentence at least 3 times. You have to speak all sentences out loud 3 times. Now, do this activity with me right now. Solitude. Repeat after me. Solitude. 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 Now, we've spoken the word 5 times. Let's take an example sentence and let's practice that too. Okay, so repeat after me. She loves to spend some time in the solitude of the nature. She loves to spend some time in the solitude of the nature. She loves to spend some time in the solitude of the nature. Okay, now we have done this activity. You're habitual of using this particular word now, and this is the activity that you have to do with each word that you're learning. If you immediately do this, that means you're using it. Now this is the part 1 of using it, just the part 1. Now moving to the part 2 of using it, that is using it in the real time. Use it in the real time. That is, make some sentences of your own. You have to form some sentences of your own on that. I suggest make at least 2 sentences. And if not, like if you're comfortable in making more, you can make as many as you want, right? But 2 sentences are compulsory for you. So think about 2 sentences of your own. Form 2 sentences with that particular word. Now speak those sentences out loud. That's what you need to do. Speak those sentences out loud. And next step is that whenever you're doing your English speaking practice, try to use it. Find opportunity to use the word. Or take such a topic where you're able to use the word. For example, you can talk about nature and you can use this word. Because we find solitude in nature. You must find solitude in nature because nature provides you that calmness. Even if you're alone, you're surrounded by nature, you feel at peace. Well, you know my love for spending some time in a park surrounded by greenery. I've always told you that I love that. I love nature. So whatever activity makes you calm, makes you happy, wherever you find your solitude, where you can spend some alone time and be happy about that, you can make sentences on that, you can take up that topic. For example, even reading is an activity of solitude for me. Just sitting there, reading my favorite book, and I find my solitude in that. So something can be solitude for you. Try to find a topic on which you can speak. So this is just an example. Whatever word you're learning, you have to do all the steps. Take all the steps for this. Find the word, the meaning, the example sentences, speak all the things out loud, then form your own sentences, speak them out loud, and last step is that you need to use the word in your English speaking practice. Once you've done all this, now your brain has registered the word as a part of your active vocabulary. Now this is there with you. You will not forget it, and when you're going to speak, you will be able to speak it naturally, fluently. This is how we are going to learn even phrases, the idioms, And any new sentenences, there are small ready-made sentences, right, that we can learn in English according to the situation. Similar steps you need to apply to the idioms, to the phrases. Whenever I do a phrases lesson with you, an idiom lesson with you, you know that at the end I give you homework. So that homework is important. That homework that I give you in each video is there so that you can use the phrases, that idioms you're learning with me immediately. You can use them immediately and it becomes a part of your active vocab. That's why I do that. So I suggest take all these steps, use whatever you're learning immediately, and hence you'll be able to speak English naturally and fluently because now you're comfortable with that vocab that you're learning. It might take time. One of the challenging things about this particular task is that often people think that it takes time. Why should we do that? Instead of learning so many things and then not even using them, I say stay focused. Quality over quantity. Focus on the quality. If you're learning something with quality, it's going to remain with you. It'll stay with you and you will feel more fluent, more confident while using that particular part of language. Whether it's a phrase, idiom, vocab, any word, or maybe some grammar point of view that you're using, maybe a sentence structure that you're using. Do that. That's going to help you a lot, believe me. So these are all the steps that can make you remember your vocabulary, idioms, phrases, your grammar, your sentence structure. Basically, this applies to everything that you're learning in English, even pronunciation. Right? So you can use this particular method in order to remember whatever you're learning and making it long term. Hence, in turn, it will also increase your fluency. Remember that when you turn your passive vocabulary into your active vocabulary, when you're using the things that you're learning in a language actively, that is, you're speaking them more, you're comfortable in speaking them, your fluency naturally increases. And that's our aim, isn't it? So please, I suggest use all the methods. Take all the steps that I've told you. This is going to be very important for you. So this lesson is important. Why? Because it can change your game and it can make your process fast. The process of learning English can become a lot faster if you take all the steps. So that's it. That was the lesson today. I hope that you liked it and this is going to be helpful for you. I'm sure about it. Now I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Till then, take care and bye.